Hey, it's Scotty. I talked about this before, but it keeps happening. There is a trend that I'm seeing online where people are dyeing their pets. I made a video about this before, and I used some social media images from Facebook, and one of the people who took those photos, they reported that video, and there was a copyright strike, and I had to take down the video. I was on Instagram, and one of the rescues that I follow, the Pipsqueakery, if you don't know about them and you love little furry animals, little animals of all sorts, then I highly recommend that you follow the Pipsqueakery. There will be a link down in the description below, and they are a very worthy cause, a worthy rescue to support and for us to raise awareness for. But there was a heartbreaking post about a hamster named Joan Jett, and she probably wouldn't have that name if she wasn't dyed a whole bunch of colors. So I want to just show the post, show some of these photos, and just read the post real quickly, just so you can see from their point of view what's going on. I reached out to them and I got permission to use these photos, so hopefully there won't be any issues and we can have a discussion about this. Meet Joan Jett. Little Joni was picked up today by our transporter after I opted to personally, as in no rescue money was spent, pay the $75 ransom for what was being advertised as a designer hamster. Because seriously, WTF? Now, I'm not opposed to a bit of creative grooming with pet-safe products, but the person who did this to Joan used human products that reek of chemicals. Like, my eyes are burning from handling her. And if my eyes are burning from handling her, I'm quite sure that the hamster's eyes are burning, because that dye is right up to her eye, and I don't think anyone could do that to an unsedated hamster without getting dye in their eyes. I can cajole many a hamster into wearing a hat, a cape, or posing with some adorable toy, but there's no heckin' way I could get a hamster to sit still while I painted burning, smelly chemicals around their eyes. As for what to do next, well, I haven't decided. I'm sure there's nothing illegal about what the former owner did, even though it was incredibly cruel. I also don't think there's a way to remove the dye without significant further trauma. I'll be exploring some options in regard to all that, though, because I'm a little upsetty spaghetti, to put it mildly. Update. Joan the dyed hamster is doing all right. She's been chilling in her temp hospital pen, working on normal hamster stuff like nesting and hoarding, and also we noticed she's missing most of her ears. The pinna. The key possibilities are genetic, born that way, another hamster chewed them off when she was small, or mild chemical burn irritated the skin enough to lose some of it. In dye news, none of the things we're sure are safe have taken the dye out, but micellar water seems to have lifted some from her skin. Now she gets toweled off and treats. Instead of thinking about whether or not it's safe or unsafe to dye your pet, let's actually focus on whether or not it's in their best interest and what are some of the reasons why someone would dye their pet in the first place. And I can think of a few. Basically, it's ego. People are dyeing their pet so that they can take pictures of their pet and post them on social media. Or when they're walking down the street or wherever they go, people are like, wow, look at that. Look at your pet. Wow, look at all those colors. They're doing it for the comments. They're doing it for a reaction. They're basically showing off. And I think that that is a waste of time. You got to ask yourself, is it in your pet's best interest? What do they benefit from being dyed a whole bunch of colors? Okay, it's not going to be free. You're going to spend time doing it. You're going to spend money doing it. Even if it was 100% perfectly safe, it seems like it's a waste of time and a waste of money. And that money could be better spent in so many other ways. And that time could be better spent in so many other ways. Instead of dyeing your pet, which probably is going to make them feel uncomfortable during that process, maybe you could just hold them and love them and give them a treat. make them feel safe and secure. And maybe that money that you're spending on hair dye, even the cheapest dye is going to cost what, 10, 20 bucks, probably more. You could spend that money on emergency kit items. You could start an emergency fund. You could spend that time rereading My Free Guinea Pig Care Guide or whatever pet it is. You can reach out to one of those rescues. You can relearn about common illnesses. You could take that money and put it towards pet health insurance. I could go on about how you could better spend your time and your money. You want bright colors? You can get one of these t-shirts. These t-shirts are in my Etsy shop. I know I don't say it enough. Occasionally I will flash right here a link to my Etsy shop, and there are links down below. 100% of those proceeds go to my rescue work, my fostering work, and to allow me to raise awareness through videos like this. But I always want to keep an open mind. So what are the benefits to dyeing your pets? Because I just can't think of any. I can't think of any reason why someone would do it where that time, that money, that energy and effort couldn't be better spent. But I do want to say this, that, you know, here comes Pippi. Hi, Pippi. We are all growing. We're all learning. We are all on a different stage in life. And I'm sure I did a whole bunch of things in my life that were for ego or for, you know, a reaction from someone else. There's nothing wrong with engaging, you know, people around you and doing it in a positive way. So please, let's be respectful in these comments. Let's realize that people are in different stages of their life. But if we can have a constructive conversation about this, then maybe someone who's thinking about it or somebody who did it before, you know, okay, if someone uses a pet safe dye, and the problem with the Joan Jett hamster situation was that they weren't. Who knows what, we don't know what they used, but it was burning the hamster's eyes, it was irritating the hamster's skin, and it's been very difficult to get it off. And who knows what kind of impact it's going to have on the really delicate respiratory system and eyes and skin of this hamster. And then people see it, and then they think, oh, this is cool, this is okay. So you may, or someone may have a pet safe dye, but that might encourage someone else to do it, and they don't get a pet safe dye. We all must realize that we are role models. There have been many situations where someone is not necessarily doing something that causes harm, but they're not doing something that's in the best interest of an animal. And I want to say we are all role models. Please feel free, if you ever see me in a situation where you think I'm doing something that is not in an animal's best interest, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to be responsive. You can send me a message through the contact page on my care guide. The reason why we're here, if you're watching this video, is because you love animals, you care about them, and you want to give them the best life, and you want to help raise awareness. So I'm very interested in this idea, in the conversation. What would be the best use? And if you have this as a defense, you know, oh, I've used these dyes, they're perfectly safe, put a link to those dyes. I'm not going to discourage it, but I would say, you know, we'll put a link. There's a link in the description of my video to Nationwide Pet Health Insurance. There's a link to the emergency kit playlist that I have. There's a link to my free guinea pig care guide, which in my opinion, all of those things are better time, better money spent to give our piggies and all of our pets the best life we can. Let me know. Maybe you can change my mind. What is the upside to dyeing your pet, even with something that's safe? Even if it means that maybe someone's going to imitate that and not find the safe pet dye and actually cause harm. So again, we're all role models. We all influence each other. We are driven a lot by approval, you know, and I would rather have approval from the community about supporting and raising awareness about the best interest of our pets. So with that, here's a link to the free guinea pig care guide right here. I'm going to put my entire care playlist right here. And I really hope that you guys can be respectful in those comments, and I can't wait to read them and continue this conversation right down here. All right, until next time, thanks for watching.